welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing JoJo's Biscuits. I picked up this awesome cookbook at Target and I'm really excited to try it. I have an event tomorrow that I'm catering for and this is on the menu, and so I decided to make a video to show you guys how they turn out. So hopefully it's a success. If it's a fail, you'll get to see it as well. So thank you guys also for helping me to reach 100 plus subscribers. I'm really excited about that. So before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share this video and some of my other videos. You can check those out as well on Angela Anago TV. So let's get started. So here we are with all of our ingredients. We have self-rising flour, we have baking soda, baking powder, we have salted butter, we have eggs, and yes, eggs. Normally, JoJo said people don't put them in their biscuits, but she does, so we're gonna do it. And then we have some buttermilk. And each ingredient, we have 4 cups of the self-rising flour. We have 2 eggs that have been beaten. We have 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then we have 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Okay, and so we're gonna save this egg to the side, and we're gonna mix it a little bit later with the buttermilk and brush the tops of the biscuits. And the tools that you will need, obviously measuring spoons, measuring cup. If you have one of these, this is called a pastry blender. We grated the butter, and the butter is actually in the freezer to keep it cold, and so we grated it on a cheese grater or whatever kind of grater you have. If you don't have a grater, you can just chop it up into small squares, put it in the refrigerator to keep it cold. We have a whisk that we're going to whisk in the dry ingredients with, and we have a wooden spoon. And all I could find was my salad spoon. I can't find my other one, so that's what we're going to use. So we are going to get started. So let's get in here. Ready? So first we're going to add in the 2 tablespoons of baking powder, and then also the teaspoon of baking soda, and then just whisk that in with your whisk until everything is incorporated. Doesn't take long. Okay, and normally in biscuits sometimes you will put salt, but since we're using salted butter, there's no need to do that. Okay, and now next what we're going to do is we're going to take our ice cold shredded butter, salted butter, and we're going to incorporate it right in this bowl, and we're going to blend it with our pastry blender until it's about the size of pea-sized crumbles. So let me take that out of the way. This is grated all up nicely, and keep it, it gets warm really fast, so make sure you keep it in the refrigerator or the freezer until you're ready to use it. You don't want to keep it in the freezer too long, of course, because you don't want it frozen, but just while you're prepping all your other ingredients, okay? So here we have our butter, and then you just take this, okay, so that is good for me. So as you can see that you have pea-sized crumbles in there. And now we are going to add the beaten egg, 2 beaten eggs. I use 2 large ones. We're going to incorporate that with our fancy salad spoon. All right, so now the egg is nicely incorporated, and we are going to add 1.5 cups of the buttermilk. That looks so good. I kind of want to put some black pepper in here, but I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Okay. All right, so let's stir this up nice and good, nice and well, whatever. Voice over. Or nicely moisturized flour and butter. I don't know what I'm saying, but anyway, until it's not, so you don't see all this right here. So you want to get rid of, make sure everything is wet. And if it's not, then you can add just a little bit more buttermilk, which I think I'm going to do. So we'll be right back. Okay, so I have a little bit more buttermilk, and I'm just gonna add a tablespoon at a time. If you feel like you need more moisture, that's what you should do, just to get all of the rest of that dry flour that's sticking. And actually that might be perfect. And you can use your hands, but what happens is if you use your hands, the heat from your hands will start to melt the butter, and you want to keep the butter in nice chunky pieces. You want to keep it grated, because that, like I said, that's where you're going to get a lot of the rise, the fluff, and the goodness in your biscuit. If you use your hand, you're going to melt the butter, and you're basically going to ruin the whole point of using cold butter. So this is about what it should look like. So take a close up of that. And now we're going to put this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, and you can leave it in the fridge for 30 minutes, and again, it'll just help everything to get nice and cold again. So when it goes in the hot oven, you're gonna get a nice flaky, high-risen, fluffy biscuit. And you can also leave it up to overnight, but we're just gonna do 30 minutes. Okay, so I'll see you next. And here we have our chilled biscuit dough. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to flour our surface a little bit, and I have this little plastic thing that I use for pies. Back there. So now we're going to put a little bit of flour on my hands, of course, because we're going to press this out. We are not going to use a rolling pin. We want to keep that nice and airy. I don't want to press it flat like pizza dough. So we're going to get this into hopefully about a 14-inch round is the goal. And we hope to get about 20 biscuits out of this dough. Okay. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. All right, that's good. So we have our 2 3/4 inch biscuit cutter right here, and I just dip it a little bit in the flour, and we just start cutting. Just come straight up on those biscuits. Don't twist it. So, yeah. All right, fingers crossed. Just gonna put it right on the pan here. And all the biscuits, when you put them on, they should touch each other. There you go. See that? Okay, so now you're gonna take your pieces of scrap, bring it back together, and try to get even more. Okay, so this is what we have: 4, 8, 12, 15. So we didn't quite get 20. So maybe hers are a little bit smaller than mine. Okay, everybody, so I just had to wash my hands, but here are our biscuits. You can see those. So she got in the ooh, look at that. In her book, she says you should get about 20 biscuits, but I got 15. So mine are probably a little bit bigger than hers, or the flour ratio was a little different, but you get it. It's not gonna be perfect. So again, there we go. I have the oven heated at 400 degrees. So make sure you preheat your oven at 400 so you don't have to do it after your biscuits are already ready. So I'm gonna hurry up and get these in the oven so that they can rise and they can be done and I can eat because I am hungry. Before putting them in the oven, you want to brush the tops with 1 beaten egg and a tablespoon of buttermilk. Okay? I totally almost forgot this step. All right, everybody, there we go. Ready to go in the oven, 400 degrees, 15 to 20 minutes. So now we're back. They're out of the oven. Here they are, nice and flaky and soft. We are going to try it. I put an egg on mine with some fried cheese, and they're falling apart because we didn't wait for them to cool off because I gotta go and I'm hungry. So here we go. There you have fried egg and the crispy fried cheese. Here we go.
I just have butter. I love it. I like it.
Definitely need to let it cool off. So it doesn't fall apart. I gotta get some of that egg yolk.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's good. What it is, it's very flaky. Fall apart. I could have definitely made them a little bit smaller, for sure, but kind of what they look like. Okay, everybody, thanks for joining us. I'll see you on the next video. Say bye, Sydney.
Bye.
Bye-bye.